A trench coat is without a doubt a staple piece in everyone's wardrobe, but there's so many styles to choose from. You can find double-breasted, single-breasted, with belt, no belt, buttons, with the epaulets, with windbreaker. There's just so many options. I've been really loving the single-breasted style as I think it's more minimal, more feminine, and also easier to wear with shirts that have a collar or something like buttons and a lot of details in the front. Sometimes I just feel like certain trench coats, especially the double-breasted ones, they feel a little too masculine and too structured for my taste, and they compete with whatever details I have. So I will be showing you by the end of the video some of the ones that I own real quick, and I will also recommend some options from different brands and different price points. But today the video is about 3 coats from Sezane. You guys asked me to do a comparison, so I'll be showing you and styling for you the Bobby coat, the Carter coat, as well as the Clyde, which I have for about a year now. I wanted to start from Bobby because that's the one that caught my attention right away. In fact, in this latest lookbook, this was the first piece that I really liked, and I wanted to make sure that I would bring here on the channel to help you figure out your size and if that would be good for you. Now, before I tell you all the details, one thing that I wanted to mention is that I always talk about hourglass and large hips, small waist here on the channel. And this is a tricky coat because at least on me, on my body, and I have all my measurements down below, it does end on the highest part, like the biggest part of my hips. So I have to be mindful about the pants that I'm wearing. Otherwise, it just feels unbalanced and not so good, so flattering. So it's something that I would just mention to you. I will be measuring for you all the coats and comparing them, but if you have any questions, just let me know. Now, the Bobby coat is beautiful. I think it's really well made. One of the things I love the most about these coats, all 3, is the fabric. It's a very, very thick fabric, feels quite structured, which is usually something I don't go for when it comes to clothing because I like fluid fabrics. It just feels more flattering on my body. However, when it comes to coats, it's really important to have a good fabric that will last long, and of course it will protect you, because a coat at the end of the day is not just style. It's supposed to help you with the warmth and also to protect you from the rain and the wind. This coat has a really, really thick fabric, very, very well made. And I did try to spray the fabric just to see how the water would react. So you can see it's water repellent, which means the water is not going to get absorbed and you won't get wet. It is not a rain coat, so it doesn't mean that you're going to go under the rain and stand there while it's pouring. But if it's raining and you have an umbrella and it happens to go on your coat, you're likely not going to get wet. You can also see that it's lined, and the lining just feels really, really pretty. They now have this in leopard print as well, which I think is really cute, but I prefer the checkered print. I think it's more classic, and in my opinion, it's just easier to style. I really hope Sezane comes with different colors because right now they only have this color, which is trench. I would say this is the perfect trench color. It's in between gray and beige, and it does have a very faint hue of green depending on the lighting. So to me it's a beautiful color, but it tends more to the cool side than warm, and I know a lot of you are interested in color analysis and just finding your color palette, so that might not be a great color for you. I am comparing all 3 of them because I want you to see how the length is, and I think Bobby is a great piece. It feels more casual than, for example, the Carter version and also the Clyde, in my opinion at least. One thing I love about this one is that you can show a little bit of the lining just by turning up the sleeves. It looks really cute. Both ways actually work, but I think it's a very nice detail. It just brings so much more interest to the outfit, and I really love that. It does have some buttons in the back, which I thought was really interesting because if you leave it as is, you will notice that it has that shape, but if you put in the next button, it's going to look more straight. So depending on your body type or perhaps the pants that you're wearing, it might be a nice thing to have just so you can adjust and wear in multiple ways. I am styling it here with different pieces underneath, something a little more casual, like this green vest. I think it looks really pretty and it does have enough warmth, and it is a great transitional piece. It doesn't feel too heavy, so definitely something that you can wear around spring and fall. Even on a cooler day during the summer, if you ever need or if you want a little extra layer, I think it's a great piece. For a lot of you, even during the winter, if you don't have a very cold winter, that could be a very nice piece to have. You will notice with the next coat that I'm wearing with another jacket underneath, just because it's longer, it was a lot easier to style this way. So I wanted to jump ahead to the Carter coat, which is the same thing. Again, it's just a longer version, and to me, that was actually more interesting. I was completely set on the Bobby jacket, but I'm starting to think that the Carter one might be a better idea. And one of the reasons is because it is a little longer and it doesn't feel like it's cutting me in half. I feel that for Bobby, sometimes you will have, depending on your height and your proportions, you're gonna have to wear the right pants. You're gonna have to do some tricks just to make sure it works really nice for your proportions. But for that one, at least on my body frame, I really liked how it looks. And it feels slightly more dressy compared to Bobby. For some reason, Bobby just felt a lot more casual than this one. So it's really a matter of taste. I think this can complement a lot of different silhouettes and body types, but I just really like the length. As you can see, it is lower than my hips and it just looks really cute. If you are a little bit shorter than me, this could even work as a dress. For me, of course, it would be way too short, but if you're shorter than me, you can probably put a belt on this and try to wear it as a dress because I think it's just really cute. You'll see when I'm styling here that I tried with two different jackets. I tried a denim jacket underneath and I really like how it turns out. So it is roomy enough if you need to put something underneath like a chunky sweater or a blazer or something else like an extra layer, which I really like because it makes it more versatile and also easier if it's a colder day and you don't want to wear like a puffer or something too heavy. I also tried with the wool jacket in suede and I think they looked amazing together. I think both textures just look really incredible. But let me know which one you like the most. Now the Clyde Coat is older and we have now so many different colors to choose from. The one that I have is from last year and it's called Camel, but to me it's more of a tobacco color. It's a little bit darker and tending to like a really nice brown. I actually really like this color. It is not as versatile as the other ones in my opinion, but this really depends on your wardrobe. Now the Clyde, I've heard from a lot of people that this is not flattering for petite ladies, but I don't agree with that. I don't think it's the length here that will determine that. It's more about your proportions, how your shoulders and your hips are and how your legs are, how you there's just so many things that play a role here, and I'm gonna show you one example. I follow Jules, Sincerely Jules, and she's 5'1" if I'm not wrong, or 5'2". I'll make sure to put in the screen so you can see. And I think it looks really beautiful on her. And I'm in the Sezane group, Facebook group, and there's so many photos of a lot of you sharing just pictures of you styling Clyde. And I've seen petite ladies wearing Clyde in a beautiful way. So I don't think it's about your height. I think it's way more about the proportions and also how you feel in this coat. I have all my measurements down below just in case you're wondering, and just for reference, I bought these coats in 36 or US 4, which is my usual size. A lot of people say that you should size down for these, but I would say at least I like the normal size. I don't feel the need to go a size down. But perhaps if you prefer something a little bit more fitted, then you could go a size down without a problem. I do think it's going to fit you just fine. I would just be mindful about the sleeves because it can get a little bit shorter if you size down. And again, that will depend on your height and your proportions. So it's really tricky to give you an exact measurement, but I'm gonna try my best here to just measure with a tape so you can compare maybe with something that you have at home or perhaps with your own measurements. Now this Clyde, just like the other coats, it's water repellent. So I again sprayed some water on it, and as you can see, it didn't absorb, and this is great for a trench coat. I'd say this is definitely something that you want to look for. Another thing that's really important besides the quality of the fabric is that it's lined, and this one in particular, I just love how it feels. It's just very comfortable and very easy to put on and off. Hopefully my camera is showing the length, like how it goes on me. I think this looks really great with boots or with rain boots maybe, and also with some Mary Janes or flats, even sneakers. I've seen people style this in so many ways and I really love it. Now this is $350 and I would say it's on the pricey side if you compare with some other brands that have a similar style like Banana Republic, even Mango. I wouldn't compare when it comes to the company if the company is ethical and sustainable. This is definitely something else, but I'm talking about the quality of the fabric and how it's made. I would say that this Sezane is definitely worth the money. It is something that's really timeless, will never go out of style. It is a classic design, and in my opinion, it's such a versatile piece that you can wear over and over for many years to come. So I'm really happy with them. I haven't decided yet if I'm keeping the Carter or Bobby. I'm really more inclined to keep the Carter, but I'm not 100% sure. I think if they come up with a different color in the future, I might consider keeping one of each, having the Bobby and the Carter. But right now it wouldn't make sense, especially here in New York because it's just so cold. Now I wanted to show you a few options. You see here on the screen a lot of different options from different price points and different brands as well. I would recommend that Uniqlo. It's $130 and a really good quality. It's also cotton, it's lined. There's so many from Banana Republic, Everlane. There's one from Quince that's really affordable. And other stories, Mango, so many brands that have really nice trench coats. I would just recommend that you look for these specific features when you are buying one. Water repellent, just make sure that you find some extra thread around the button because this will reinforce the buttons and make sure that it doesn't add extra pressure every time that you unbutton your coat. What else? I would say that in terms of style, it really depends on what you like. I do have some trench coats that I wanted to show you. I have a couple of suede coats, one for Reformation that's absolutely stunning. Now this is something very pricey. I did get during the Black Friday, but it's still really pricey. It is not something you can wear when it's raining, so that's definitely a bummer and not something that you would wear enough maybe to justify the price. I have one from Ducie London which I have recently purchased and I really love, and a few leather pieces as well. So if you guys want me to do a video with some more details on these, let me know because I wanted to just make this a short video so it doesn't go too long, but I still wanted to show you a couple that I have from Goelia. These are definitely on the thin side, so if you don't need the warmth and the protection, you just want an extra layer or something to look nice and feel flowy, I would say a silk one is a great option. This other one with worsted wool, it does add some warmth, but it doesn't have a lining, so it feels really nice when you wear because it just brings you a very feminine feel to your outfit, especially if you're wearing something super simple without much color or much print. I would say that having this extra layer, like this third piece, makes a huge difference on the way you look. And there's also one from Mango, which unfortunately I haven't worn enough. This is so old. I've had maybe for 3 or 4 years now, and for some reason I just don't reach for it that much. But these are all my trench coats. I really like them. I think they just serve a different purpose, but I wanted to share with you real quick. And again, if you want any more details on any of these pieces, let me know and I'll be really happy to make a video about them. Let me know below which one of these three you like the most, and if you're considering to get a new trench coat for the upcoming season. And if you have one, I would also love to know which brand you have and which ones you like the most. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.